Chillmonger with Jonathan Hickman's X-Men now over, with me listening to the Explain the X-Men podcast or interview that he had, hearing out where a lot of things that didn't go the way he was supposed to have them go, understanding maybe more of the picture. I was almost going to say the whole picture, but with a better understanding and at the place I am in now, 7 days after the Inferno comic comes out, uh, and wraps up, I think I have a grasp of what's going on here. I can say this definitively, and I thought about making a thumbnail of this video holding a stack of all the comics, the X-Men comics, because there might be like a good 30 that I regret purchasing that are taking space. X-Force, Marauders, some New Mutants comics, not the Hickman ones. Well, actually, yeah, some of the Hickman ones now. What happened to Giant Size X-Men? What the plan was initially supposed to be. Storm was pregnant. They did a silent issue, that comic book. I remember reviewing it and saying, "Can't believe that there's no words here. I mean, I don't get the novelty, guys." Things were changed pretty last minute. Russell Dowderman had already drawn those images. Storm was pregnant. Black Panther and Storm were gonna have a kid. So characters were gonna progress, and the plan was nixed. Use enough of those things happen and the whole thing crumbles. Franklin Richards, him being a mutant, nixed. How much things failed, how much things didn't go into fruition the way that they were supposed to. There's even a moment in the podcast where Hickman explains what things are. I can't have every. He's like, I can't have everything I want because something was shot down. And then I go and I think to myself, is he being a baby or is he justified in having everything he wants? I am on the side of everything should have gone the way Jonathan Hickman wanted it to go if you hire Jonathan Hickman. If he pitches you, I want to do X-Men, I want to do X-Men, and you keep saying no, he leaves Marvel, and then you go, let's accept this pitch, and he writes down every single problem there are with X-Men, and he says that there were other suggestions that were given to him that were good also, and he added some stuff in there, and when he has that all, and he goes, I present this to you, the plan, it's going to be 3 acts, and you say yes to that, then yes, you got to obey. You got to go with Jonathan Hickman's plan. I don't care that and he said this. He was like, "How are you going to tell a writer what to do on his book?" I don't care that these are grown men or grown women who write comic books professionally. If they agreed to a X-Men job, then you got to know that Jonathan Hickman is doing this thing. He's got an event planned here to start phase 2, and you better be on board for that. And then he's got an event for phase 3. He says that there was a unknown length of time between phase 1 starting and phase 2 beginning. Okay, fine, but you got to know that phase 2 is coming, and when that wasn't coming, creative differences, let's just call it, because he never out and out dumps on his team. He says that he's like a sports guy, and that's his background, not to shit on your player, all the other players and whatnot. It's commendable, but it's also not a sports situation. If it's a sports situation, you are the main player. You're the one who scores the most points, and those other guys are bench players. You're the one who they give to the ball to, the puck to, the when it's time to hit the game winner. That's who you are. You're not the same. You're not equal at all. Things should go the way you go. If you say, I need you to write this book, but just remember, I've got this character who you're writing right now. I've got this character making this action. Don't do anything to contradict that. Actually, accentuate that so that when my character does say that words, we're going to go, oh, thank God I was reading your book. And it'll crescendo. It'll crescendo. You got to have your comic book crescendo. I want to see him say things like lead and dictate what you can't do and what you can do. And hopefully what you can do is helping the Hickman event. I don't think 10 of Swords was a Hickman thing. I think it just kind of spawned on us. I know that Hellfire Gala just kind of spawned on us. It was something that was supposed to be a Marauders specific comic book issue. And they said, let's make it line wide. And you know what happened? Sword stopped halfway to do a Hellfire Gala. Wolverine stopped to do a Hellfire Gala. New Mutants, all of them, all the books just said, we're gonna do Hellfire Gala for now. Now back to our stories. No, what was pitched is actually what I would have preferred, and it would have been by generation. You'd have the main X-Men adults guys, they'd have their book. It would probably go just the same way Hickman did his X-Men. We'd have a Generation X book. What's the one before? And the New Mutants, they would have their own book because that was their class. Academy X. What do you call the one where Bendis made Gold Balls, Tempest, Hijack? From the sounds of it, each generation, Shark Girl and Boy, I think Jason Aaron was doing them on that side, but they are basically the same class, sort of. They didn't go to school. Regardless, it was going to be by class. That's kind of logical. That makes sense to me. We get everyone that we're supposed to get, and every kind of fan base of the X Men would be honored. But no, for anyone who's a fan right now of the Academy X generation, the young X Men generation, you got to wait about 10 more years until writers who were young then and liked those books then are now old enough and are now in the office. Until then, like, Hickman was our closest shot. Hickman did a good job of honoring semi-recent comic books, not just the Claremont stuff, which is every X-Men's. Oh, I can't wait to do something with Apocalypse and the Phoenix. Can't wait for that. The Hickman generation, this Hickman era of Krakoa, it is over. He knows what's happening for the next 3 years, and he's plugging what's happening for the next 3 years. Hey, what happens on that year 4 though? Is he returning? Are some things just put in place so that he can pick it back up? Why was he in that X-Men Zoom call with a whole group of those writers? They all seem to like him. He's not burning bridges. Is Jordan D. White's contract up in 3 years and then it'll be an unrestricted Hickman? What's going on here? I don't know. But here, after hearing that interview, man, it changes a lot. Hearing how not strongly enough Jonathan Hickman fought, he hearing maybe I shouldn't say that. I should say I didn't hear how strongly Jonathan Hickman fought. He didn't advertise that. Maybe it was an ongoing thing, battling behind the scenes. But from what he displayed from himself on camera, on microphone, he's not a fighter for this. From that Inferno issue number 1, he took a whole lot of shots at the X-Men office. Go read Inferno number 1 one more time. Remember all those lines about Cyclops. I'm no longer going to be part of the X-Men team anymore because I've got this other dude. I'm not on the council anymore for all that. Was meaningless. Had nothing to do with the Inferno book. It was just there to be there. Hickman was taking shots. I'll have more to say on this topic, but from where I sit now, waste of money, disappointed, not interested in reading the next little couple of years of the X-Men, all of them. No interest in any of these books. If plans could change for Jonathan Hickman a year from now, Jordan D. White, I'm talking to you, sir. A year from now, I don't believe that you're not going to change the plans again. I think you will. I think you'll say, "Oh, what's going on here? We got, what we need? This book." I know. Oh my God, let's scrap that idea, Jerry Duggan. Let's do something else. Let's make everyone's comic book stop to do another thing. Another X-Men vote, which they're doing, which is too soon in my opinion. But they said they're making a second X-Men team. Either way, I think it's too soon. It dilutes the gimmick. It was special the first time, and I thought it was excellent the first time. You include the fans. It's sort of like how they killed Robin, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Jason Todd. How they killed the Red Robin. Whoa, this is just like that, except we got 2021 technology. So I thought that was really cool. If you do it again, is it really that cool anymore? Hickman had a mistake. The way that Vulcan was talking to, was it Petra, the other teammates from that era? they're supposed to be dead, but they were actually alive. And I can't believe he had a mistake like that. I'm disappointed. Legit, I'm shoot disappointed that Hickman would have that mistake in his comic book. Like, snap out of it. Did I notice and pick up on it? No, but still, knowing that he made a mistake like that, it's like, bro, there's a reason why those guys can't be resurrected, dude. Thunderbird 2, Hickman, come on now. But yeah, I guess he was rushed to get this book out in time, and he made that mistake. Which, is he lying? Did he make that mistake on purpose to see whether the editors would pick up on it? Is that something? Because by the time he had made that mistake in that comic book, writing was on the wall. He knew he was leaving. He knew he wasn't going to touch that storyline. So maybe he made that mistake on purpose. Do I give Jonathan Hickman credit for being a genius? Yes, too much, too often. Where he can make a mistake and I'll go, he was just trying to test if anyone else would pick up on it. I'm wrong for that. Or he's really that smart and he is that guy. But that's the caliber of writing this man has showed me. I love consequential writing where something happened in the past and a year from later it's still relevant. That is gone from my X-Men. I don't believe that there is this cohesiveness that they claim that there is. I want to say there is cohesiveness in the sense that there's a little bit. In the sense that no, we're not going to see Wolverine wearing green in one and blue in another. Okay, there is some cohesiveness. It is not nothing. It's they have accomplished something. Sure, with their X-Men Slack channel, which Jonathan Hickman invented, created that. It wasn't no Jordan D. White thing, but with that, with the communication between the writers and I guess the artists are part of that too. All right, fine. They have accomplished something. Let's build on that. Let's make it better. This is a practice run. This is the first of its kind. Because usually when they have these big lines, like Bendis, he had two comic books when he was doing the X-Men, and they were both bi-weekly, weren't they? He had it was one guy, even though it was more than one book. Here we had a group of people, and I feel like that's the wrong way to go about it. I feel like Jonathan Hickman should have been writing more than one book, and he wanted to write more than one book too. Come on, Jonathan Hickman, come on. He really should have been writing more than one book. I've learned some science to go, oh, I can see something's going wrong over here. I'm gonna be suspicious. I'm gonna be cautious, and I'm not gonna drop all this money. I've learned that lesson from this at least because of the stack of 30 comic books. Yeah, Ten of Swords was probably my checking out point, and or the month prior to that, when I saw Ten of Swords in the solicitations, I go, you mean this is gonna be like a 20-part story now? I don't think that they're all gonna matter. I unsubscribed from all of my books and I said, I'm just gonna go and get it. What do you call it? Like from this when it's not on your pull list, when you just kind of a walk in. I'm like, those are how I'm gonna get my comics now. How I feel about it. And yeah, Ten of Swords broke me. I don't know why a lot of you guys loved Hellions. Subjectively speaking, it was like the hit book. It was great. Okay. Orphan Maker and Nanny guys, yeah. Scalp Hunter, those guys are relevant. Where are they now? Where will they be in the next 5 years? That book wasn't anything, and I saw that sign. I knew it was going to end. And what was Zeb Wells rewarded with? Nothing, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Put it in the comment section. He wasn't rewarded with anything. A lot of this was just inconsequential X-Men stuff. How much of it did really matter by the time we got to Inferno? Maybe the Colossus thing, maybe, but maybe he just did that to please. The Colossus thing was nothing. Issue number 2 should not have ended with Colossus. It had nothing to do with the rest of the story. That was throwing a bone to the team. He really doesn't want. Hickman doesn't want us to say, okay, well, it's Hickman's fault that all the other books are going to stop selling now. He doesn't want that. He tried to integrate some stuff in his Inferno ending with what's going to continue on. And he does not want to have the blame. We can call it blame. We can call it the consequence. He's gone. So is Chillmonger. I can't be fiery and flaming upset because this was a gradual get to this point. But we are now at this point. I am disappointed with the entirety of X-Men. If we're on pause right now and Hickman comes back in 3 years, I don't want to have another stack of like 50, 60, 70, Hundreds of comics going, "Oh, this really didn't mean anything until Hickman returned, huh?" I don't want that. So I'm out. I'll get some covers, a couple of cover buys if they look nice, but I don't want to support. Sorry, that's a whole lot less comic book reviews, but I will be reading comics like Ms. Marvel Beyond the Limit, Black Panther. I'm digging Captain Marvel and what's going on there with the last Marvels. For a minute, I thought that actual Marvel returned, not so much. But until then, if you want to see more of me on this channel, I do fun stuff like 33 burning Star Wars questions, 33 burning MCU questions. Every Saturday, it's a live stream. And I'm doing DC questions this Saturday. If you want to check that one out, come join Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard, 10 Pacific. Yeah. Peace out.